This is going to be video number 84 on your Firearms Defense channel. Today I'm going to finish up reading the article I started yesterday, Dial 911 and Fry from Soldier of Fortune magazine. And I should have a lot of time left over today after I finish this article, so I'm going to get into briefly. I'm going to show you the 20 gauge I plan to utilize for 4-day shotgun next time I take the course over at Front Sight, and what I anticipate doing with it. And then I'm going to briefly discuss my United States concealed carry membership that I have, and some protection I have for in the event of concealed carry and you have to utilize your weapon. So the first thing I'm going to do is get started finishing this article. Beforehand is just speculation. It's an endless game of if this, then that. Police training around this issue is formally all about closing the loopholes and making sure you had done enough to ensure that you would survive an inquiry. Informally, the policy was better to be tried by 12 than carried by 6. We were trained to do things we had to do to survive the courtroom, not the situation, but told when it got down to it, we had to decide to live or die and deal with the courts later. The primary progression we were taught is proof of escalation. If possible, escalate by steps: verbal, restraint, physical force, pepper spray or dog, baton, sap, then gun. You had to prove you did everything in your power to stop them before you were forced to use deadly force. We were taught to kill, not wound. Never ever go into a shooting situation to wound. That was hammered into us. Shoot to kill. Dead bad guys can't testify against you and lie. Cops are taught what to do in a situation to avoid prosecution and criticism, not necessarily what is the best thing for the situation. That's the whole reason 6 cops will jump one person, so they don't hurt him. But the thing people don't realize is if this triggers mob reaction in the cops, most of whom are angry, scared, and feeling that adrenaline rush prior to running the bad guy down. I totally get why cops beat up a suspect. The thing is, we received 2 kinds of instruction: the official version, the policy version in the manual, and then the real thing to do, the verbal how it really works version. That includes how to carry a throwdown gun, how to write up your report. All the illegal cops stuff get nailed for from time to time. No one will talk about that on the record. If they do, the rest of the Brotherhood will deny it. You'll never find those policies written down. Post-incident, yes, we were told all the things to do to save our butt and the department's butt. We were told what would happen, what to expect, what to do, what not to do. You basically shut up, call your union rep, and don't talk. You write down what happened for your own peace of mind as soon as possible afterwards, but not in an official capacity. Trauma will erase a lot of your memories about the events days or even hours afterwards. We were told what to expect psychologically, how other officers would call us heroes, although we wouldn't feel that way. A lot of how to survive the mental aspects of shooting and what to expect in terms of stress, PTSD, and so on. As I've often observed, the Al Pacino movie Serpico, as good as it was, didn't end routine abusive practices. The same goes for the more recent Russell Crowe flick, American Gangster, highlighting documented internal police corruption on the way massive scales with arrest, convictions, and business as usual following day. Of course, there are those niggling videotapes that contradict the neat stories police sometimes tell that simply don't match the evidence. The point is, you and the authorities are at cross purposes here. From cops' perspective, you should be as forthright and open as possible, unlike what they might be inclined to do behind the blue curtain. After all, if you've done nothing wrong, you have nothing to hide, right? Just come clean and you'll be fine. Isn't that what you were taught in government-run grade school? I sat through a police-led firearms training class where the lieutenant in charge said exactly that, giving the exact opposite advice even a lousy lawyer would give you, and he knew it. After a legitimate self-defense shooting, when the police arrived, this Lieutenant Friendly said, just tell them everything. You have nothing to fear. The justice system will protect you. Since you're innocent, you'll be scot-free in no time. He told this to a room full of concealed handgun license instructors so they could pass it on to their students. Some of them raised their eyebrows higher than mine, but nobody spoke up about it in class. No sense in ticking off the police before you're even in an incident. The lieutenant's advice is absolutely untrue and horrible. You and the police have different goals, different interests, and you are not on the same side in such a situation. And remember, you're not innocent until a judge or jury says you are, perhaps years later. And that concludes this article, and the purpose of this whole incident, these two videos, I just wanted to read another thing here, just to show everybody that the justice system and the police and the law is definitely not on your side, and that's just not my opinion. Other people have that to say too. So okay, that closes that off. I want to finish up a few more things here, talk about a few more things as long as I have a lot of time left on this video. The first thing is, the next time I go to Front Sight to take shotgun, I remembered I had a Remington Model 1100 LW semi-automatic shotgun I've had for years, and I've only shot it a couple of times. I did some bird hunting with it when I was back in Missouri. So I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to utilize this 20 gauge weapon for my next Front Sight shotgun course. I'm going to have to do some things with it, though. I'm going to have to find some way to mount a sling on it probably, and I'm probably going to have to do something with the barrel, because as near as I can determine, it's got a 28-inch barrel on it, and the barrel is a modified choke, and modified choke isn't good for shooting slugs or buckshot. You should have an improved cylinder for that. So that's what I anticipate doing. This thing isn't exactly the same as my Benelli. It looks like that. It's got the release down here for the tube release and stuff like that. Actually, that's a bolt release right down here. So it functions a little different from the Benelli, and I'll just have to get used to it. But this is a weapon I anticipate using at Front Sight with a few modifications. The other thing I wanted to discuss is I have another level of protection just in case, that I ever do get involved in a self-defense situation and have to shoot someone, which is unlikely since I live in Los Angeles County and we can't get concealed carry permits here. It would only happen in my home. But I belong to something called the United States Concealed Carry Association, and they have a magazine they publish about 6 times a year, I think. I'll give you a close-up of this. This is what the magazine looks like. It's got a lot of good articles in it about concealed carry and things like that. And I get this magazine every year and belong to their association because I want to help support our Second Amendment rights to keep and bear arms, and this seems like a good organization. They also have something they just started recently where they offer memberships on different levels, and they offer insurance policies to protect you somewhat in case you get involved in a self-defense situation. This policy provides a lawyer for you if you need one. It provides liability insurance. It provides things like that. And I purchased their membership. They had 3 different levels of membership, and I purchased the high dollar one because, you know, I've got more money than I need and all that stuff. But anyway, on my next video, I'm going to do a little research into this and talk to a local lawyer in my area that they provide and stuff like that, and do a little research and make a detailed report on it. And that's going to be on video number 85 when I get that up there. So anyway, I'm going to sign off for today and conclude videos 83 and 84 here, which go together, and I'll see you on video 85.